got his own billboard too.
Badass Vegan. What up?
Badass Vegan.
Ninja.
Oh man,
What's crack-a-lackin'? Everything good?
a little tired. B-roll.
Oh, hey guys, I'm sitting here with John Lewis, aka Badass Vegan, at the Vegan Food Share household, somewhere hidden in California.
Hello.
There's Al. You're vegan. How long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan for 10 years now.
What inspired you to do that?
I was vegetarian for about 2 years, and 2 years after that, my mother was diagnosed with colon cancer. And when that happened, I talked to the doctors, things of that nature, and the doctor told me that the cause was too much animal protein, because I was very inquisitive. I wanted to know, like, how did this happen to my mom?
Right.
And so, when I asked him, he was like, too much animal protein, things of that nature, fried food stuff. And, I was like, well, that's not hereditary? He's like, no, that's a lifestyle choice. So I always tell people I'm a big believer in learning from my mistakes, but I'm an even bigger believer of learning from other people's mistakes. So, like, if you try to run through that brick wall over there and you don't make it, I'm not going to try to prove you wrong and be like, you know what, I can get to that brick wall. There's certain stuff I want to prove people wrong, but in that case, it just didn't feel right. I felt that I needed to make a change. So about 30 days later after that, I had a good college friend pass away from sickle cell. And after that happened, I was like, you know what, that's like my ode to him. I'm not going to go ahead and make this change. And I never turned back from there. That's it.
And you kind of promote veganism through your persona, the Badass Vegan. How'd you come up with the name?
It's so funny. My mother, she laughs at, like, the fact that I called the company Badass Vegan. She's like, where did you get that name from? I was like, Mom, you've been calling me badass since I was like 3. Like, that was kind of like a name for me. Like, you're badass. So after a while, and then it kind of came back up when I was doing the P90X stuff, like I said, and I post my videos, and people found out I was vegan. They're like, man, you're one badass vegan. So I was like, it kind of all tied back in. I was like, I think I got an idea. I checked online, to see if the website was available. It was available. It was like January 1st. I just bought it. Boom, 2010. And then I got the company incorporated like that next week, and then it just went on from there.
So you just got back from Sydney, Australia.
Yes.
So what do? You travel around and, like, give me like an idea of what you do.
Travel the world, promoting veganism through my companies, and through just everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do seminars, I do speeches. My primary goal of going over to Sydney was they hired me to come over there to do. I don't even want to say hire because I did it for free. Sorry, but I went over there to Sydney to basically talk about being vegan, transitioning to vegan. More importantly, staying vegan, because I think a lot of people miss that boat. They'll try it for a month and then they're like, oh man, this is too rough. And I think that one thing that we fail to realize is that food is a drug. Food is the most addictive drug we'll ever put in our body. And so with that being said, you have to think about what's going on as far as, like, okay, if I'm putting this in my body, it probably has addictive qualities just like the other drugs. So just like cold turkey, if you stop doing something, guess what? You're going to have the same effects. You're going to have the chills. You're going to have hunger pains. You're going to have sleep apnea.
The cheese chills.
Yeah, the cheese chill. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We all had the cheese chill. You see that pizza come by, you only been vegan for like 30 days. But that's pretty much what it is. Food is a drug. So when we do that withdrawal, we're pretty much like telling people that this is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, be ready for it. But once you make it through that, you're fine. So, that's like just showing how, all the aspects of veganism, as well as the environment, the animals. It's just, I think we all have different ways of promoting it, I would say. You got your activists that are like, they're gung-ho, they're going on other people's pages, and I kind of tell them to kind of chill out with that. Like, if veganism comes out of love, then, you know what I'm saying, you got to display love. You can't say, I went vegan because I love all animals. You for having this picture up. Like, that kind of like contradicts the whole idea. Right. So I kind of promote, like, eliminating the hypocrisy of the veganism. We're not better than more people. We just understand better than more people. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like once you get to that point, then you're like, all right, well, I gotta help them instead of bashing them. You know, so I say I only know 2 people that were raised vegan or have been vegan since birth, and everybody else is a vegan after maybe vegetarianism or just straight carnivore. And you have to realize, if you just went vegan yesterday, you can't talk shit about somebody because they're not vegan today.
Right.
And yesterday could be a whole spectrum of times. You know, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You're 30 years old. You only been vegan for 2 years. You killed quite a few animals without thinking about it. So then we got to take that aspect. And sorry for all the kids watching. I curse. Don't be like me. Don't do it.
Yeah, like all these years, you have to pretty much unlearn what you've learned in order to adopt the vegan lifestyle. But you can only educate and inspire people. You can't force somebody to do something. So that's what
you can't force them. You can just show them how it helps you. And once they understand that, then you start to see like, wow, like I've helped way more people achieve the goal of becoming vegan by not pressuring them to do it than I did when I was gung-ho when I first went vegan. I was like, you better go vegan, you're gonna die. That doesn't work, you know what I'm saying? So I had to learn.
That's a trait of a lot of new vegans. They're excited about it, they're passionate in it.
Yeah.
And
it's like when you get a new car, you're like, dude, you need to go get this car because this car is the best car ever, you know? So it's kind of like that aspect.
So what's probably the question you get the most at your Badass Vegan by your followers?
Funniest thing is, well, the main question is always, you know, what about protein?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's protein in everything. You know what I'm saying? I tell people
protein. Everything.
Now, the thing is, we have to remember there's different levels of protein in everything. So your spinach is gonna have more protein contents than your lettuce, but it's still protein in the lettuce. You know, it's just a minuscule amount. And we have to remember that there are different levels, and as long as you balance it out, you'll be fine. And we also have to remember that the level of protein that we need in our body is nowhere near what the industry's saying. The industry says that we need 1 gram of protein per body pound.
Right.
I'm 235. There's no fucking way. I mean, 235 grams of protein. Even if I was a meat eater, it's just not happening. Like, so you have to kind of step back. Nobody's died of a protein deficiency since like the 1400s. Gotta be the 1400s.
When they had nothing to eat but water.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure if you check the 1400s, that's like the actual last death of a protein deficiency. And you know, so a lot of people ask about the protein deficiency, and you know, you just give them options. You know, there's so many different options. Another one I get is always about soy. Like, is soy safe? Or and for me, I believe it's safe. I just don't think that what's going on in the industry when they're like, oh, you know, soy gives you these attributes. The problem is now there has been tests that have shown soy isolate causes problems. Which soy isolate is what they use to isolate the actual protein.
A lot of process.
Yeah, it's a lot of process to go into isolating it. And I've also thought that most of these tests were never run on vegans. You see what I'm saying? Like, if there's
they're controlled tests, and they're a lot of them are conducted by the industry, the dairy and meat industry.
I mean, just for nothing. I mean, if you really look at it, in a minute, pineapples are gonna be like the thing you shouldn't eat because they can always come up with anything. It's always something that has to do with eating natural that they say you shouldn't do. You know,
back in the day, they were saying coconut oil was bad for you, and they were saying, no, drink these new, which were hydrogenated things. But now we know that those are bad for us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going back to coconut oils and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What would be your one piece of advice if you could help out a new vegan or somebody that wants to go vegan? What would you say to them?
Be prepared. Just be prepared for the unperceived side. I won't even say the bad side. It's just like what you didn't think was going to happen, because people are like, oh man, I'm going vegan, I'm saving my life. Well, you're saving your life from years and years and years of doing the wrong thing. So there's some backlash from it. So there's going to be, like we said, the sweats, you know, you're detoxing. You're literally detoxing your body. Now, when I say sweats, I'm really hyping it up. Nobody's sitting there with the chills and the fever. Like, you know, it's not like the exorcism or something. Like, you'll live through it. But there are little things like you might have a headache or something because you're not eating those processed carbs and those sugars. They're not stimulating your brain the same way as they used to. So it's just things like that. Like,
taste
just
buds change.
yeah, get ready, get ready for the haters, because it is not all internal. Like, it's going to be some people out there like, wait, you trying to save your life? You're trying to actually eat better for yourself? The f*** is wrong with you? Like, you'll literally get that. You know what I'm saying? Or you can say you're doing it for the animals, and they're really gonna think you crazy. So you're saying, wait, I'm coming out of love and compassion. I do anything else anymore. People are like, you're f***ing stupid. Like, you know, like, and that's how twisted we are. That we're living in a society where if you don't want to do the wrong thing, then you're stupid. You know, like, how could you not follow
the norm?
The norm, which I always tell people, normal doesn't make it right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At one point, it was normal to be able to have a slave. That was normal. That was normal shit. You don't have a slave? What the f*** is wrong with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, it goes right in tune with that. So I think I just say be prepared. You know, be prepared for that. You know, just, you know, the lack of awareness that's out there. Because once you believe that you're aware of what's going on, you're gonna have some times where you're like, wait a minute, I thought you knew everything, and then like you got that friend that's like, yeah, but that's bullshit. Like, you know, everything's a conspiracy to them, you know, things of that nature. Yeah,
they're gonna, I mean, it's like, it's coming from within their own guilt, I think, you know?
Yeah. It's definitely like a guilt, and sometimes I think I hate to use the word brainwashed, but we've been conditioned for so long that if you're conditioned for so long about the wrong thing, guess what you believe in? The wrong thing. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like prejudice is not a born trait. You're taught that. You got people that are part of the KKK, like, while they may be assholes, at some point they've been trained to hate other people. You put two babies in the crib when they're first born, around, they're gonna hug each other for warmth, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a natural instinct. The other hatred thing, I mean, us sitting here, that's not learned. That's like, oh man, you know, you're vegan, I'm vegan, we talk, you know, it's just one of those things. Hatred would be, you're vegan, I'm vegan, but you're white, I'm black. I can't talk to you. Like, and that's what's going on a lot in the world. So like, just, it's so many things to get ready for. Like, it's just you're gonna see people that you thought were just like you, and they're not mentally where you are. Not saying they're stupid, because I know there's gonna be some haters out there that are not vegan watching. Like, he's calling non-vegan stupid. No, it's just aware of certain things that somebody else is not.
It's almost like what's right and what's wrong, you know? I mean,
yeah, exactly. It's what it is, right? And you feel what you're doing is right, and that person over there feels they're doing what's right. But you know, and they know as well, that not wanting to kill anything is not stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's just natural. Like, or not wanting to kill anything makes you soft. Like, and that's, you know, like when a guy says it, they're like, oh, you're acting like a little bitch. Like, you know, no, it's not. I just actually don't want to kill anything. Just like I don't want to smack you for like calling me a bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the same conversation, like they don't get it. So you just gotta be prepared for it. It's gonna come. And the more and more you focus on helping other people, other animals, things of that nature, you'll be in such a state of enlightenment, you won't even trip off like what is going on, you know what I'm saying, outside of that. You just live.
And the good thing is nowadays there's a huge support group for, I mean, everybody. You can go on the internet, everybody. You can find recipes, you can find other vegans, you can find vegan meetups. I mean,
you can go on Instagram and just hashtag vegan and you're gonna find vegan stuff.
Millions,
And the thing is, like, you know, everybody's super supportive to the most they be. Like, I'll be honest, like, I don't get to answer all the comments like I used to, but I answer comments. Like, I don't answer every comment, but if I see somebody actually asking a question that pertains to life and health and changing their life for the better, I make sure that I try to answer that. But when you got so many comments on one post, like, and I get people mad because I don't answer, I'm like, look, like,
you do what you can.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can. Like, Instagram is not my job. You know what I'm saying? That goes along with what I'm doing with everything. But Instagram is not my job. You know what I'm saying? So, people have to understand that. But, you know,
if it was, we'd answer more questions.
Oh, dude, answer way more questions. And that's now I will tell people, they email me, you'll get answered.
Yeah.
But on Instagram, social media, and I'm not just gonna like fight to answer every question.
There's just so many. It's kind of impossible.
But we will help you. Like, there's so many groups, meetups, like he said, things of that nature. Pages where you can ask questions, you know, it's all out there, you know. So you got books, recipe books. I mean, his book, you know, whatever it is. Shameless plug, sorry, but it's out there. Just don't feel like you're alone.
All right. Well, do you have anything else to add to the interview before we close it out? And we're gonna make some pizza tonight, so you'll have a video of Badass and me making some pizza with Miyoko's mozzarella. But do you have anything else you want to add to the?
I mean, just be happy, man. Like, just understand that you're gonna make mistakes. Vegan or not, you're gonna make mistakes. So understand that you can turn those losses into lessons, or you can keep it as a loss. Like, if you turn that loss into a lesson, you might still be pissed about the situation, but not as much when you think back on it, because you're like, oh man, I learned from that. Like, oh man, if I eat this, I actually have this symptom. You know, if I keep eating it and I keep getting that symptom, then yeah, it'll always be a loss. But if I take that, like, man, this pain is associated with this food, and if I stop doing it, I stop this pain. Now it's a lesson. And now you're actually happy about it every time you think about it. Like, man, remember when I kept eating that bullshit and I kept getting that fucking cramp? And you told me a long time ago to stop eating it, but I kept doing it. As long as I looked at it as a loss, as a pain, it was always painful to me. But all right, let's say when I took the lesson and I learned from it and I didn't do it anymore and it felt good. Now every time I look back, I'm like, man, I remember you kept telling me and damn, I finally listened. But every time you told me and I kept doing it, I was pissed about it. It's the same thing when you're dealing with friends trying to go vegan. I'll keep going for days. I'll keep going.
It sounds like my mom. Like, Mom, stop eating this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. I will see you in the cooking floor making some pizza.
Boom. You're going to love this episode.
All right.
Peace.
See you guys. Oh, you are? Can you take a... There's only one thing left to do. Let's try peace out.
Oh, dude. I think we're going to make it. Alan, I don't know where you at, but...